Hey everybody, welcome to our February 2018 compilation video. For the new folks that have just joined us, first of all, welcome to the channel. Second of all, we do these videos every month, as close to the beginning of the month as we can, to do a rundown of all the expected kit releases, both foreign and domestic, for any given month. Again, this is February 2018. Like I said, usually we try to get out as early as we can, and a lot of it depends on the scheduling of domestic companies' release schedules. Obviously, they don't work on weekends. The first being a Thursday, we're ready to go here on Friday. So we have kit releases from both of the major U.S. companies, as well as all three of the four major Japanese companies. So just taking a quick look at the domestic side of things here over at Revell. There are going to be two releases in this month. There are the Dave Deal Baja Humbug. I don't even know what you would call that. It's not even a show rod because it's one of those sort of weird, almost caricature type of models that based on sort of a drawing of his. I mean, it's an old kit, it's an old reissue. It's just more proof that people were smoking some good stuff back in the day because. Yeah, I don't know. It is a SSP, a selected subject program model kit, meaning there will be one run of this done, and then that is it. It will sell out. Well, it may not sell out because it's goofy, but there will be no subsequent reissues of it. If you have even like the other kit Revell is doing, they're doing a reissue of the 1966 Pontiac GTO. That is a kit from the mid-1990s, so that's a new tooling kit, if you will. It's a straight reissue of that kit. There's nothing been added to it or anything else like that. It says Tampo printed red lines in it. I don't know if those were in the last reissue. I have the reissue from the mid-2000s, I want to say, and I can't remember if it has it or not, and I'm too lazy to go take it down off the shelf and look. So that may be a new thing, but like I said, I think it is in that last one as well. But if the Nova, they'll do a reissue run of 3,500 pieces. If those 3,500 pieces would sell out, then they would run another 1,000, 1,500 pieces to constantly keep that kit in the catalog, so to speak, or in retailers constantly for a while. This Dave Deal dune buggy type thing with its SSP thing. What that means is they'll do the 3,500 piece reissue, and when those 3,500 pieces are gone, that's it. The kit's gone again until they bring it back, 7-8 years from now. So, I don't want to instill some sort of fake panic. I can't stand the whole, oh my god, it'll sell out and you won't be able to find it if it's not a legitimate limited run, like say the Golden Commandos Mobius kit, which is a 1,500 piece run, and that really is all there is to it, or the 500 piece runs that Auto World does on certain Auto World store exclusive type things. This, I mean, it being a reissue and not something that is at least a new livery like the Golden Commandos was. If you were interested in this kit, I think you already have one. It'll catch people's eyes on the Hobby Lobby shelves, and it'll sell that way. But I think it's one of those kits again. If you're into Dave Deal stuff, you already have one, or you're gonna go grab it, and that's gonna be it. I don't think this is not one of those kits that has a lingering shelf appeal where 6 months down the road you're like, oh yeah, ha ha. You already got one, or you already went and got, or you bought one when it came out. At any rate, over at round 2. We have 5 kits on the February release slate, 1 NPC, the rest AMT. The NPC is going to be a reissue of the Mountain Goat Jeep Commando kit. This will be reissued in its original NPC box art, of course, because nostalgia. But other than that, it's a straight reissue. I think this was most recently seen as a Model King, or Stevens International, one of the two. I can't remember which one it is now. Limited run. So this is sort of a kind of a 2-in-1. It has a couple of different sets of wheels, and it's got the regular, Jeep Commando's regular body, and then it has the great big cowl induction hood and all the rest of that stuff. So how you want to build it, sort of up to you. The 4 reissues at AMT are all things that are sort of just putting things back into circulation. They're going to reissue the 65 Lincoln Continental convertible station wagon kit. That was just done not all that long ago, probably 6-7 years ago. So this is getting another reissue. They're going to reissue the 1958 Edsel. That is, of course, the newer Tool AMT Ertl kit that was done towards the end of the 1990s. That is going to come with all of the parts. Some people who know that kit know that there was a custom version of it that had a Continental kit and some, not wheel covers, but wheel skirts for the rear fenders. So all those parts will be in it, along with obviously the factory stock building options. They're going to reissue their 1966 Ford Fairlane GT GTA. That again is what, a 1991, 1992 new Tool AMT kit back at that time. It's had a couple of reissues along the way. I think most recently was probably about 10 or 11 years ago over at Racing Champions. This is the factory stock version, not the 427. That's a different kit entirely. Retro box art, pad printed tires. And then they're going to reissue the 1962 Pontiac Catalina HD 421. Too many numbers and letters trying to say it too fast. This is going to be packaged as the Polyglass Gasser 2. And why we use a whole bunch of air quotes there is, of course, the Polyglass Gasser, the original kit. Well, first of all, it's not a gasser anyway, but it was sort of I think it was on the Bonneville chassis, if I've read the history of this right. Now, of course, the Bonneville kit doesn't exist anymore, so they put it on this again, the newer tooling, AMT 1994, 95, somewhere in there. New Tool Catalina Super Duty that they did. I said HD, didn't I? It's the SD. 421 Super Duty. So this is a straight reissue of that kit. New decals that replicate the original Polyglass Gasser decals. There is a set of Polyglass tires in this kit, and very amusingly, they do not fit the wheels in the kit. So you get a spare set of tires. Why not? And then, of course, there's pad-printed drag slicks that actually fit the car. It's a very amusing kit because even when you read the literature that Round 2 put out for this, that it says includes a set of Polyglass tires, not for this kit, because they don't fit this kit. So, hey, free set of tires. There's always that. I mean, nothing against the 62 Catalina. I think it's a really nice, one of the better, nicer kits that AMT did in the late 1990s, or the mid 1990s, the late 1990s, however you want to look at it. But you know, they're trying so hard to replicate something that doesn't exist anymore that they just sort of went for it with the new toolkit, and now you're getting, I mean, the greatest, what, $6 or $7 set of tires if they sold them separately for free, technically. But if you don't have one, I mean, I think it's probably worth just grabbing it for the set of tires, if nothing else. And that takes us overseas, over at Suzuki. We have a number of reissues for February. They start out with the new Tool Suzuki Hustler. That is the little K car that looks like a smaller, more compact version of a Nissan Cube, particularly a Nissan Cube. I was going to say the Scion XB, but the Scion XB has way too much front end on it. But, you know, it's going to be molded in 2 different colors. You're going to have your choice between Passion Orange and Summer Blue Metallic. It will come molded in color. There are 2 different kits, so you have to pick which, you know, pre-colored kit you want, basically. It is, you know, a basic kit in the way the Veil side was, sort of that whole, not quite a snap tight kit, but not really a full glue kit either. I mean, it's curbside, so it's not a full glue kit, but so it's interesting to see this, especially since we saw Aoshima do a 1/32 scale snap tight kit of this already that had came out around Christmas. So for some reason, the Suzuki Hustler all of a sudden is getting quite a bit of love over in Japan. I guess it's a popular little car. I think it's probably one of the best-selling little K cars at the moment. But it's still just an odd choice for a model. I have one on order. We'll see whether or not I actually fulfill the orders that I have going forward right now with the way things are going employment-wise. But it is what it is. Then we have a reissue of the Suzuki Wagon R. As either the RR or the RR SVZ Sports. This is another little box on wheels. I have it, but it's too far down the stack to grab. Very, very squared off 1990s Suzuki K car. Sort of the precursor to the Hustler, really. It's, and model kit wise, it's probably about this big or so. And it's just literally a toaster on wheels. Those RR and the RR SVF Sports were two separate kits. They've combined all the parts into one kit for this reissue. They're reissuing their Mini Cooper Kumonon, which was a special little black and white thing. Looks like a panda bear almost, as far as what they've colored it up to be. Kumamon being a cartoon anime type character. This is a special one-off for the 100th anniversary of the Mini Cooper factory. It's a reissue of a kit. They're reissuing the Toyota TE27 Levin. This is the one I'm kind of interested in, not because I want to go get a Corolla Levin, but just because this kit already exists in the catalog as it is at a $8 cheaper price point. So I'm kind of wondering what comes in this kit that isn't in the other ones that justifies the $8 price increase, especially since you can still get the other one through HobbyLink Japan or Hobby Search. It's not like it's out of production, so I'm interested to see what comes in this that isn't in the other one. And then there'll be 4 Lamborghini Countach kits. These are all Enthusiast Series kits, so these are all going to be, 200-part things because these Countaches also have what is known as a real sports version of the curbside. So these are going to be the ones with full detail, full engine, and they are the reissue of the Lamborghini Countach 5000 Quattrofoil, the reissue of the Countach LP 500S, the reissue of the Countach LP400, which is the first gen, if you will, Countach, and a reissue of the Lamborghini Countach 25th anniversary, also known as the Countach Testarossa, because it has the same sort of side strakes as the Ferrari Testarossa did, and it is the 25th anniversary was the last gen, if you will, Countach that was made prior to going to the Diablo. Over at Hasegawa, we've got reissues of the Honda Civic Fario, that is the 4-door Civic. Just a restock for that because that kit got actually, reissued into the mainstream last year. Reissue the Subaru Legacy RS, the sedan. This is the civilian version. Reissue the Lancia Delta Integral 16 valve. This is sort of the one level below the Integral Evolution that they reissued towards the end of last year. So this kit hasn't been seen in, close to 10 years. So it's a reissue. It's, again, a civilian kit. They've reissued the rally versions a couple dozen times last year, but this will be the street car. Reissue of another Porsche 962C, this time in the Advan livery, which I think is just actually a straight reissue. And a reissue of the 1/24th scale Lola LC90 Lamborghini F1 car. This, again, is another one of the Agari Suzuki driven machines. This is basically the next car that came after the Zaxpeed kit that got reissued last month. So again, with the 1/24 scale F1 car. Now we've got Hasegawa stuff out until March right now. The April stuff should be announced here in a couple of days. And so far they haven't announced any more of the 1/24 scale F1 cars, which there are a couple of Ferraris left. So be interesting to see if they do those. And then that takes us over to Aoshima. Aoshima's got a few things that are going to be, the new box stuff, as well as one retool, modified reissue. And then there's a whole bunch of just restocks. So in the model cars lineup, the 81 Toyota Soar GT Extra VX kit that was supposed to come out this month has been delayed to this month. Box art for it is done, so it will come out this month for sure. So that's just a pushback of last month's kit. Also on this list, the 2007 Nissan 350Z version ST. It'd be interesting to see if they include the parts to do the 2005 350Z as well. It's like a hood and a couple of different pieces to do both. The last time they reissued this kit, it had that, so we'll see. If it also includes the left-hand drive parts, because only the export version of that kit ever did. So be interested to see the parts content of that. The reissue of the Toyota Corolla GT DX from 1981. This is the GT and the DX were separate kits. They're combining it into one box this time. And then also a reissue of the 1970 Nissan GTR Japanese Grand Prix car. This is a legit race car, not sort of an inspired by type of thing like the Liberty Walk stuff. So that is a like I said, a rebox there as well. Over on the tuned model car side of things, you get a reissue of the 1998 Toyota Chaser JZX100 Toyota Racing Development Kit. So your regular late 90s Toyota Chaser kit, of which they it's been a little while since they've reissued it. I think it's been 4 or 5 years since the last time the Chaser got reissued from that generation. This has a bunch of ground effects and Toyota Racing Development parts, basically just an aero package. And then they're going to reissue their 2001 Honda Stepwagon in the DAD VIP van, well, I've almost said livery, but it's not decal set. It's, again, a body set with great big wheels and things like that. You won't be able to build that stock. I think they did do one stock version of it back when they made this kit. I want to say there is. It's kind of not a shame, but this is the next generation of Honda Stepwagon after the one that Fujimi did. So it'd be kind of interesting to have, the factory stock version of it. I mean, it would be a matter of trying to find factory stock Honda wheels, basically, because you're stuck with the big VIP wheels that come with it. And then the modified reissue for this month is the Liberty Walk Nissan GTR R35 version 2. This effectively is the same Liberty Walk R35 kit that was just done a couple of months ago. Came out right before Christmas. That is a new set of wheels on a wing, basically. The wheels are different in the version 2 kit, and then the car has a GT3 style wing rather than the ducktail spoiler that the original one had. So just a couple of different little modifications to get mileage out of the tooling. Otherwise, the body kit itself is exactly the same as the version 1. Like I said, just a couple of things. Somebody, Aries and a couple other people actually, have come asked me about the version 3 Liberty Walk R35 that was shown at SEMA this year, and basically it's just the version 1 car that was painted black and gold. There's no real version 3 of that as of yet. So that'll be where these end as far as this Liberty Walk kit. So we'll move on to the Aventador, the Murcielago, something else. Yes, please. Modern Liberty Walk kit's good. Yes, we'll see. And then we have 4 19-inch wheel sets for the month of February, and they are the Amistad. Let me see here. Retinos, the Kranze Borfix, the Kranze LZX, and the Leonhardt LD5, so some VIP wheels there. And then all the rest of these are going to be just restocks. They're just, putting kits back in circulation that have sold out. A lot of these are in the most recent reboxes anyway. And they're reissues of the 73 Skyline GTR, the RX-7 for the 79 24 Hours of Daytona, the 2010-2007 WRX STI Subaru, reissue of the Celica 2000 GT Liftback, reissue of the Subaru Sambar High Roof 4-wheel drive, that is the older Sambar with the raft on the roof and all that stuff. Reissue of the 1987 Cedric Gloria Y31 V20 twin cams. Again, pick Gloria Cedric, your choice. Reissue of the Top Secret Fairlady Z. Reissue of the Liberty Walk Ken and Mary GTR. That is the second kit from the series. Reissue of the Hakasuka Skyline 4-door. That is the 4th kit in the series. Reissue of all 3 of the Back to the Future DeLoreans from the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd movies. And then 2 pre-paint reissues here. Going to get a reissue of the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10, either in its red or its metallic black bodies, and then a reissue of the Toyota Truno AE86 Initial D version 1, so it's a black car with the white body and the very, very basic kit, no engine, just a, the very beginning of the Initial D series type of kit. And that, guys, looks like that's going to be it for the month of February. So now you know where your money is going. Hope you found something to buy, right? Or many somethings, more than likely. And we'll see you guys on the other side.